everybody, and welcome back to Okay, So Hear Me Out. I'm your host, Aubrey, and normally this is where Hannah would introduce herself, but unfortunately she could not be a part of this episode this week. So my co-host, instead of Hannah, is going to be Austin Lawhorn, longtime friend of the show and guest in episode 3. Austin, please say hello.
Hello. It feels great to be back in the spotlight.
And then our guest this week, since Austin is the host, is Austin and I's good friend, Eric Jaimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better than in middle school where they called me Eric Jaimes when I had to go
Jaimes.
get my 8th grade diploma.
I'm very glad that your name isn't Eric Jaimes, but I'm also sorely disappointed that your name isn't Eric Jaimes. That would make it so much better.
My middle school best friend was named Eric, and whenever I'd sleep over at his house, his mom would tell him to get in his Eric jammies.
See, my best friend in middle school was also named Eric, but his last name was Notman. So all he always got was, Eric's not a man, and that's as far as it went.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad it didn't, progress any further than that.
I don't know where it would progress to, but it didn't get worse than that. And he took it like a champ. He's
right.
he's a strong-willed human being. I should introduce the show. Okay, So Hear Me Out is an imagination exploratorium where normally Han and I, but this week Austin and I, grab a guest and we choose a topic and we riff on that to make that a better thing. This is garbage. Why am I garbage today? Can any of you guys answer me why I'm garbage today?
It's your show. I thought you would. I thought you'd have a better.
I've never
of it.
had to do this without Hannah here, and I think it's weird that I'm doing this in this way.
Maybe she's a secret ingredient.
I guess it's not a secret anymore.
Yeah,
There we
it's
go.
not a secret. I mean, it's going to be our secret 3 ways because I'm going to delete all the garbage that I said so far on this podcast.
Except for that last comment, so people are going to be really confused as to what
Yes.
you're talking about.
Exactly. We just have to keep making references so you can never delete it.
Fuck you. Okay, So Hear Me Out is an imagination exploratorium where myself, normally Hannah, now Austin, all get together with a guest. We choose a topic, and then we come up with ideas on how to make that topic better. So we've done things all the way from movies to restaurants to underwear to how to just make new life hacks. But this week we're going to be talking about the workplace. How do we improve your workplace? And I think it's great that we have all 3 of us here, because if we had Hannah and I work in the exact same kind of atmosphere. We're both teachers, but the 3 of us, we have 3 very different environments in which we work. Mine being in the public school system. Austin's is more of the traditional office space, except for now that he's working kind of with the Microsoft campus, which we'll get to. That's different. That's more tech-based. And then, Eric, you work in more of a, I don't know if it's is it more of a laboratory kind of thing?
It is
Yes.
definitely a laboratory.
Okay.
Now, is it a laboratory or is it a laboratory?
Yeah.
I think laboratory sounds a lot more fun.
You're right.
So-
According to Dexter, that is very true.
Yep.
I don't know why we don't have anyone named Dee Dee just kind of walking around the place. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Ruining everything. That
Dee Dee from reception.
There we go.
Always, you work in a blood laboratory. Just the vampire infestation
Oh, yeah.
that you probably have in that is obscene.
So I feel like that's step number 1, right? Is any workplace could be better served by having less of a vampire outbreak.
Vampire
It's awful
infestations.
You're okay. I'm sorry. I always think it's always bad every time I'm walking out with OBI bits. People just start throwing garlic at us because they're always feeling like we're vampires. No, I don't do that. I work with it.
You literally have people throwing garlic at you because they
That
think
happened
you're
to me. That
vampires?
happened to a phlebotomist at one point.
Now,
Like,
I know what a phlebotomist is, but if
Oh, of
you
course,
could
of course,
please
of course,
tell
yeah.
the listeners what a phlebotomist is, that would be great.
they're the ones that stick you. They're the ones that get the
They hit you with sticks?
They hit you with sticks. Or the ones that draw your blood with the needles.
Okay, they draw your blood.
Yeah.
What does that picture look like when they draw it? Do they use pen and paper or a red crayon and let you know this is your blood?
My local phlebotomist uses oil on canvas, and it really comes out with a very, very great texture, I think, that adds a lot to the piece.
The one down the street from my apartment is actually a caricature sketch, and so the blood always looks way out of proportion in some way or another.
Strange that they all love to use chalk.
Chalk?
Yeah, they all love to use chalk instead.
Okay.
To draw everyone out.
Sidewalk chalk.
Yeah.
If you come outside into the parking lot with me, I'll tell you exactly what your blood looks like. Picks up a pail on the way out, sets it in their little wagon, and drags it out to the parking lot with everybody else.
Oh God, the kids are playing hopscotch on my diagram.
God damn it. All right, so clearly get yourself a phlebotomist to draw your blood in your office space.
Okay, so we got it, right?
That's it. We're done. End of episode.
That's
No.
the show? Okay, awesome, sweet. See you guys.
That's the show. We're probably 4 minutes in after I edit a little bit. We're done now.
It's just a nice little crunchy sound bite to kind of get you through the day. It's a revolutionary new podcast format.
So Eric has vampire infestations in his. So when we get rid of the vampires in Eric's workplace, he'll be set. Austin, what kind of infestation do you have in yours?
We have a lot of interns that hang out in the basement, and I feel like they're out of the way because they're in the basement, and maybe that's the solution, is just kind of put them off in their own little space.
Oh, put more interns in the basement is the solution.
Well, no, just take the interns you have and put them in the basement so they're
Okay.
not in the way.
Okay, that's good. So you've already solved that. The infestation.
The company I'm with now is very progressive on that front. And I think it's been a nice change. I want to see more workplaces do that.
With a lot of like problem where we just put them in the basement.
The problem I have with my workplace is that the infestation is clearly the children, and but getting rid of that would mean that I have no job left.
Yeah,
that ruins it.
I mean, among other things, there's a lot of reasons why you probably shouldn't cull the children.
Now, I'm trying to make a joke, but it doesn't really work because I actually really do love teaching and working with kids. I think the real downside to my job is dealing with parents that think they can do my job better than I can. That's the worst part of my job.
Yes. So, what we can do, maybe we can have we take all the schools, every school, and we implement one classroom that every day is taught by a difficult parent until they tap out, and then you just contact the next one. It's like, all right, it's your turn to try to do the job. So there's so now it's not especially fair to the kids. So maybe you have to maybe there's like a lottery system where you pull out several kids out of each class every day, and it's like a draw. Whoever has to go to like the bad classroom with the shitty parent. But maybe that gives parents an outlet to see that they're full of shit. Without completely disrupting everything, because you really need that hands-on kind of experience to understand. Well, I say that. I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of what happens in schools and how hard it is to teach without ever having taught myself, but some people clearly don't have that.
Well, you're married to a teacher. So if everybody was forced to be married to a teacher, I think they would start understanding.
Yeah, it's like everyone should work retail at some point in their life. Everyone should marry a teacher, so that you get that sense of. Now it doesn't have to be forever. I mean, the divorce rate's so high. I mean, we're really not gonna change anything. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be your first one, but just get it earlier in the cycle.
So that you had it before you have kids. Before you have kids.
Yeah, for sure. Because you can't. Because if you go, if you put your kids in school, and then you marry a teacher, like you need the knowledge before, right? Because that's the whole thing we're trying to prevent.
Well, that solves all of my issues that I've ever had in the workplace ever.
I mean,
clearly.
I mean, that is a big one. To be fair. I definitely don't want to deal with that. And I'm lucky enough in my position that I don't have shitty parents. I just get told, no, I'm not going to give you my money a lot.
Let's see, what are some of the bad words that people have used on me?
Oh boy.
This is a fun exercise.
I can't think of any off the top of my head. It's mostly
There's
just
bad words with you?
Okay, so not really. There's a parent who will remain nameless and a child who remains nameless, of course. It's little cycles like these that happen that make it so frustrating. So I send home an order form saying that if you want this sweatshirt, you have to fill it out and then give me the money by this date, right? And then, so order form goes home with child. Order form never comes back. Money is paid by the child. Money is cash. They have to fill out an envelope, but with one of those things on the envelope is what are you paying for? That part is left blank. Instantly goes to band dues because just as a blank statement, kind of, okay, you're paying money. There's no indication that this child wants a sweatshirt. We order sweatshirts. Child does not get a sweatshirt. Parent calls up and complains that they ordered a sweatshirt. They did not order a sweatshirt. I have to talk with this parent for a long time about how child did not order a sweatshirt. Then I get tired of that, so I say, how about you talk to my boss? And I hand it over to the head band director. She does the same thing. We both get very tired of the whole thing. We say, we'll order you another one, but it's going to be more expensive this time. Lady refuses to pay. We say we won't order sweatshirt. Then we get it anyways because we're tired of dealing with this lady. It's the wrong size. Great. Fix that issue. Once again, still not getting paid. Finally comes in on the second to last day of school, after school happens. Child does not show up to school the last day of school. We can't give child sweatshirt. We get three or four calls over the summer complaining about how the child still does not have a sweatshirt.
I'm so uncomfortable physically.
One, it's summer outside. Why does your child need a goddamn sweatshirt? There's no reason for the child to have a sweatshirt in the summer. Two, if she doesn't show up the last day of school, how are we supposed to give her the sweatshirt? I'm not going to deliver it to your house to give your child the sweatshirt.
God,
what is going on with you?
You have described one of the 7 rings of my personal hell. Oh my god, that's one of the inner ones too. Like it's up there.
Oh,
It's weird. It's like, okay, so band directors often make the joke that, and a lot of teachers do in general, just when you go to school, they don't prepare you to be this certain thing, to wear this certain hat, right? They kind of teach you to teach. They really don't. But then turns out you have to, be basically an accountant for your own stuff, and you have to be a counselor as well, and blah 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 blah. I didn't realize I was gonna have to be a retail worker too, but like not even a regular one. Like I'm treated like an intern at a retail store sometimes.
Do they have those?
No, it's a new invention, but it's also called teacher apparently. So I don't know.
God, that is the worst situation, and the thing that made it so terrible when you were describing it is because I knew it to be true.
Oh yeah, no, that's incredibly true.
And that it's not an isolated incident, that it happens in the world, and it just makes me want to climb off a bridge.
I ran into that parent, I think, last week. She was at some meeting for band parents.
Go?
She just kept eyeing me real angrily across the
Give
room.
me the steak face.
Right, yeah.
Oh.
And her daughter was there, and I said hello to the daughter, and we were, because the daughter's nice, right? And we had a nice little conversation. She just looked at me the entire time, her mom. And I said, it was nice to see you again. And then I walked off. That's how I handled it.
I'm just picturing her as like the mom as Kate from John and Kate Plus 8. Like just like if I had to have a mental picture of this mom, is what that's what first pops into my head.
Now, I know what you're talking about, but how about you describe to the audience
Yeah,
what
we're trying to
that's
be
like?
real inclusive and informative on the show. So if you could describe to the audience, not us,
Not
in
us.
great detail what it is
Johnny-
you're trying to paint for us, then that would be much appreciated. For the audience, we of course know what you're talking about. And
So
exactly what.
I always feel like there's like, let me see. I feel like I have to pull up now, John and Kip. Like I forgot what she looks like. Not like. I
Oh,
have
that's
like a,
really good. Eric,
I have
make
a
a reference to
stereotype of
something
what's in my
that-
head, but like I don't know what she looks like now. Oh, she grew her hair out. Okay.
Has she
No.
gotten more or less? I need to speak to your manager over time.
Less. I need to speak to you.
Oh,
right
really?
now.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen this show before?
I've heard. I know. Why would I watch this show?
No,
I have
there's-
heard about it. Oh, she does want to speak to my manager.
With like the shortcut, with it's like kind of like
Yeah,
like,
it's-
parted and half of it's swept to one side.
Yeah, that's every time I think of that kind of person, you're right. That is exactly what I picture. Okay, so
Boop.
hear me out. We've dealt with the parents. We've dealt with the vampires, right? So
Of course. Sometimes
Now-
they're the same thing.
Parent
you know,
vampires.
that's true. PSA, you heard it here.
Oh no, I have a better idea for whatever we're doing right now.
Okay, scrap what you said. Continue
Scrap-
on with this new thought.
Scrap fucking everything we've said so far. This is
Start
what
the
we
podcast
do right
over.
now.
Rewind. Take
this
out
is-
your earbuds, people.
From now on, this is episode 1.
This is the beginning of the episode. Here's what we're doing. We're gonna build a workspace from the ground up, saying, "Welcome to Okay, So Hear Me Out Incorporated." This is the podcast. We need to build our business plan right now, and we need to create a good workspace for everybody who's going to work for us at OSHMO. Make it the best workplace ever. We're doing it from the ground up. We're not just fixing, we're creating the best one ever.
Okay, so
Okay.
the entire first floor is the cafeteria and water park.
Yes. And
Okay,
so's
because-
the negative first floor. Because
Yes.
the slides have to go down a lot
Yeah.
more, right? So there are a lot of holes in the first floor, but they go down to the negative first floor because
Right.
the
Isn't
water
the
slides.
first floor just a basement?
No, Eric.
Nope,
no.
Eric.
You're thinking out. You're thinking inside the box. This is a new, fresh
Get
workplace.
outside the motherfucking box, Eric. Outside of it. Think outside the bun, son.
Get out of those Eric Jaimes, okay? Wake up.
Put on your imagination exploratorium caps and let's get going. All right. Floor 2. That's where we keep the gum that can turn you into a giant blueberry. Also the chocolate lake. Also the TV thing that makes you it's Willy Wonka's chocolate factory on the second floor. That's it.
That's
Without
the whole. Okay, that's the whole
Wait,
floor.
that's
So
the
wait.
whole
so
floor.
so OSHMO is a candy company.
Nope,
No.
it's still a podcasting company. We just have we rent out the second floor to Willy Wonka.
Oh, so we're almost into the business of real estate.
Yeah,
There
a
we
little
go.
bit. And so we do get some of those sweet candy sales.
That's one
free
of those,
to-
that's one of those perks that people have been talking about.
Candy is free to all employees except for the Oompa Loompas, which is very very sad. Until we finally, they go on strike, and then we support them from everywhere from the negative 7th floor all the way up to the top floor.
Which is what number? 69.
Yes, the 69th floor. It is the 69th floor.
It's actually the second. It's the second to the top floor. The top floor is floor 420. It's like how sometimes buildings skip the 13th floor because of superstition. We just hit all the cool numbers only.
Yes. That's
So,
why
like,
we
based in
also have a
Washington?
3.14 floor, which is just a pie factory.
Yeah.
And you never see the end of it. You just
But like the elevator
Yeah.
gets off. The elevator says like 3 when you get off, but like the floor is like slightly raised because it is the 3.14 floor, so it's higher than the third floor.
And you
So-
have to step up from there.
get that like
and
one of
then
those
walk.
signs.
Yeah.
We gotta make sure watch out for safety.
Okay.
So I
So on the
want
Willy
to go
Wonka
back.
floor, do we
I wanna-
have like our own Willy Wonka? Do we get Johnny Depp? Or do we resurrect Gene Wilder?
Oh, we resurrect
No.
Gene Wilder. Don't
Oh.
you dare! Don't you
Well,
think for a second I'm gonna
So
let Johnny
yeah,
Depp
well,
ruin that.
we have the cryostasis room on floor -5, right? So we just take his body. Well, okay. So there's two ways we can do this. So we have the cryostasis floor, right, on -5. We have the AI team that works on -6. So they could either so we could either go to cryostasis and say, hey, resurrect this body that you have definitely frozen in our headquarters, kind of a la Walt Disney, or you go to -6 and say, hey AI team, why don't you take Gene Wilder's consciousness and upload it to the second floor, so there's just perpetual Gene Wilder presiding over all of the happenings.
We're getting some great Westworld shit right now. I'm loving it because it's got Gene Wilder in it.
The
What?
Oompa Loompas become sentient.
Well, they're already sentient, Eric. They're not animals. What is wrong with you?
Have you seen that movie?
Actually, I've never seen Willy Wonka.
Oh God.
Oh,
What?
yeah, I forgot. Eric's one of those people that hasn't watched movies.
But that's not like.
It's Willy Wonka. It's Willy Wonka, Eric.
God. Okay, so we got the Willy Wonka floor. We're gonna liberate the Oompa Loompas. It's gonna be a great triumph for OSHMO.
I like the diversity of our floors.
Yes, I like it. One cool thing that's gonna happen.
The average person nowadays needs a very flexible work environment. Okay, nobody wants to sit at their desk 9 to 5. I want to be able to, go over to cryostasis and maybe get a little freezing going on, so I can get through the week faster. Maybe I go in on Monday and they unfreeze me on Friday, and that's like my week.
Everybody gets a free exoskeleton, and then
Oh, of course, yeah, mandatory.
On floor -69, that's where the Fight Club happens between Robo battles.
So it's kind of like we've taken. What was that show? BattleBots. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But we've scaled it up, and it's like,
Oh fuck yeah!
I am the BattleBot.
We do that, and then the team battles, everybody gets their own Megazord.
Ooh, I think actually, you know what? I think for some like cross-team collaboration stuff, to really bolster company morale, we make the exoskeletons compatible with each other, so we could start linking up Voltron style.
Oh yeah, I like that. It's gonna look like the links from Avatar, where you have to link up ponytails, which is a little weird, but it's more effective. The technology is just better there.
Aubrey, I am a little disappointed that you said the word Avatar and weren't talking about the fantastic Nickelodeon series, but we're actually talking about the blue people.
Oh yeah, I mean, clearly one's superior to the other, but it made for a better reference because of how inferior that movie was.
I didn't even think of that as a concept. I was just thinking in the back of my head, like through all the episodes, Avatar: The Last Airbender, was to where they like hooked up braids, and I was drawing a blank.
That's
Wait,
I'm just too afraid
did you not see Book 7 Technology?
Did you not see that scene in Legend of Korra where, in order to get all of Aang's wisdom, Korra had to hook up her ponytail to the tip of Aang's beard? Did you not see that?
I did not.
His ghost beard, in order to get that?
It had a real Black Mirror vibe, actually.
Yeah, they were all looking at their smartphones the entire time.
Yeah.
All right, new floor. Hit
New
me
floor.
up with something.
Okay.
New floor.
So we've got -69 all the way to 69, and then 420, and we all know what happens on 420, right?
Yeah, it's always on fire. Always.
Oh yeah.
It's literally on fire. It's just so that everybody can see exactly where it is at all time.
Yeah. And
Also,
it's-
people smoke weed.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. It's not weed,
Just
but-
entirely hotboxing that whole floor.
Okay, so
Yeah, I feel like with that amount of weed and the floor space we're going for, the whole building is going to turn into a hot box.
no, smoke rises. So
Well, if you ignore the physics and embrace the comedy, I feel like you'll find it's a much better work environment.
there is nothing about what we've created so far that doesn't scream follows the laws of physics. Especially because when you go below floor 0, which doesn't really exist, that's just the wall there, then the gravity shifts so that you're not actually upright. You're upside down as you go from it.
Well, yeah, because everyone knows as soon as you dig a hole into the ground, the gravity is all out of whack.
Yeah, it just flips. That's the way that works. Also, we need a zero gravity chamber in there.
Now, do we need a zero gravity chamber or a zero gravity floor?
Gravity floor. Zero gravity floor.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's the 0th floor.
The 0th floor?
Zero.
What is the correct terminology for 0th in the order?
Zenith?
Is it 0th? Zerost?
Sarah?
Zero
None-
Sison.
The nunth? Like you've got ninth
No.
and you've got nunth?
The nunth floor. That's what
The
we're
nunth
going
floor.
with.
Yeah, the nunth floor.
None floor.
We need a puppy floor. A floor that's just filled with puppies.
Ooh.
Okay, we
Yes.
might need like 5 floors, which is just puppies.
Actually, I feel like
that's-
if we're gonna have so many floors, maybe it's best to intersperse the puppy floors so that everyone has very
yeah.
quick access to puppies.
every 5th floor is a puppy floor.
That's too many. I feel like every other is probably better.
Okay. So that's floor 3 and floor 5 and 7 and the first floor. So the first floor is
We just
cafeteria,
have puppies everywhere.
puppies.
Yeah,
And-
it has like one of those really
Lot of
big
fun.
like outdoor patios where like college kids take their dog.
Okay, and play frisbee.
Yeah, and there's also I forgot to mention there's a frisbee golf course out back, like behind the building in the yard. There's also a go-kart track.
I think that the go-kart track should
Now there is a
spiral
golf cart
around-
track also.
No,
These
go
are some
back to that.
souped up machines.
Yes, they all have NASCAR engines in them, but they're golf carts. The go-kart track should spiral around the entire building, going all the way up and down, like it's on the outside, like it's surrounding it.
Ooh,
And now we're
yeah.
playing GTA 5.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was feeling maybe the track goes like sideways and upside down, and we could do like the Mario Kart thing and just get the magnets. Like so, as soon as you pierce the threshold, your car turns into magnet wheels, and you're like hovering. If we've got a zero gravity floor, we've got access to the technology.
Make our own Rainbow Road.
Oh shit!
I
We
was
can make our own Rainbow Road.
yeah, I was thinking Rainbow Road. Do you think Nintendo has their own Rainbow Road?
I think they do. We have to one up it. How do we beat Rainbow Road?
Hey, nice also Nintendo reference. One up. Mushroom. Get it? Actually, let me do some Nintendo Office Rainbow.
You have tiles of
Road
rainbow.
Question mark? Rainbow Road appears above Nintendo HQ after she. Oh, this is a sad article. Never mind.
Oh no. Is that the Satoru Iwata?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Rest in peace, my man. You made some killer stuff.
Okay, well we get Rainbow Road now. It's ours
Yeah,
Forever Rainbow Road.
forever.
If you build it legally, it's yours.
That's the way that works.
Name that movie.
No.
Lawyers in the Outfield is what I was. No, shit, that was Field of Dreams. Wow, so bad. Oh,
Well, it's better than.
I fucked up real bad on that one.
Yeah, all of your references from now on should be about Pirates of the Plane and nothing else.
That's the wrong podcast, Aubrey. I feel like it's not a rich enough comedy vein to spread it across 2 podcasts.
You're right. It's a shit movie. I'll just delete all of this. This will all be gone post production.
Excellent.
All right, so we need another. We've just split the amount of floors that we have to work with in half. So, okay, one of those floors does need to be cats, just for people that also like cats.
I
Should we
mean,
just have one for every pet? Every kind of pet?
I think
I'm not digging a snake floor. I
no.
don't think-
Maybe we have one floor that's exotics.
Okay, there we go.
And we can kind of slot a lot of different animals because I don't. Yeah, you're right. I don't need a snake floor. I don't need a tarantula floor.
I do need an emu war because they
Whoa, an emu war.
Well,
Okay.
speaking of which, emus did win a war once, And that's what we use the emu floor for, is to create an army of
so we're
of
kind of
emus.
so this is a real kind of it's the way that you've described this. I don't know why Attack of the Clones was like in my head, but like we're just like churning out.
No, you're right. They were led by Mace Windu, and
right, yeah,
Mace
Emu,
and they fought the Australians, who were led by Count Emu.
Count Didgeridoo.
Count. Okay, let's not get rid of our Australian friends here, please. That's where most of our listenership comes from.
Yeah, I've been looking at the numbers recently. That's actually kind of impressive, the reach we have across the pond.
It's amazing how nobody else listens, though. It's just Australians.
A little disheartening, but we're pressing on. We don't do it for you, listener, so suck it.
We need different ideas. Let's just chill for a second.
Yeah, we do.
Always wondered why, like, at my place of work, I've always been told, like, don't cuss, but every single boss I've ever had has always cussed up a storm.
All right, new rule: you can cuss. You're allowed to.
I actually, this is a marked difference in my new job. So I, for those of you who don't know, I do nonprofit fundraising. So I'm currently working on a big nonprofit fundraising campaign for a lot of different agencies. And I did the same thing in Oklahoma before I moved. And it was so drastic, the kind of culture shift I had coming from a Southern Bible Belt kind of fundraising schema into everything is really progressive and people just kind of are the way that they are and that's cool with everyone kind of schema. Because I was afraid to not only like curse, which I do a lot, but like say anything remotely hinting at the fact that I don't know, I don't necessarily enjoy going to church all the time, but here, like, I went over to our executive director of development's house for like a party to celebrate that we hit this big fundraising goal, and she was like, hey, kick off your fucking shoes, let's party. Like during the workday. This was at 2 on Thursday. Like,
I love it.
It's and I feel like that has been so much better for me in a work environment because I don't feel like I'm walking on eggshells to get to my desk where I sit and call people and ask them to give me money and have to tell them no, it's not for the church.
Yeah, this is a new thing. We're going to implement a policy where nobody's allowed to leave their eggshells on the floor.
That was the worst thing about working in Oklahoma is that people just threw eggshells.
Where did you
on
get all
the
these
ground.
eggs? Where did the eggs come from, Oklahoma? Why? Why are there so many eggshells?
This is not a joke, but still is funny. The office I used to work in Oklahoma, straight up was right next door to chickens. So chickens would like roam our parking lot from time to time.
Were they friendly neighbors though? Like what kind of business were these chickens running?
I'm not entirely sure. It might have been drugs. I know a lot of bad stuff happened next door, so I don't know what kind of chicken feed they were dishing out, but
It's the bad stuff though.
The chickens were really nice. They came and hang out.
If a really chicken was to run a business, what would it be?
Are you asking, or is this this has the first half of a Laffy Taffy joke?
No, this is like a real question.
I mean, it's not eggs, is it?
Toys R Clucks?
Toys. Maybe chickens have maybe chickens should work at a burger place because you know how cows got employed at Chick-fil-A to kind of encourage people to eat chicken. Maybe the chickens can rally and say, hey, maybe don't, because we're people too. Maybe eat, I don't know, fish.
Cockadoodle Doodles, artists for hire.
I'm calling the producers of Bob's Burgers because I want that on the restaurant in one of the the storefront next door.
What other bad puns can I think of?
I wonder if they make pillows. Just use their feathers for pillows. Maybe they own a pillow company.
Pillow.
They just rip out their fucking feathers and stuff them in sacks.
They just fall off.
I don't think that's more of a business. It's less of a business model for chickens and more of an angsty teenager trying to win his crush back.
Peck a pillow.
I put my feathers inside it for you.
Peck a
Do you
pillow.
feel me?
It's like Build a Bear, but it's for your creepy feather pillows.
Which suck anyway. Can we just take a second and talk about how much feather pillows are like bad?
They're very
I've never
pokey.
had a feather pillow.
Yeah, the feathers come out and they scratch me.
Ooh, that doesn't sound.
I mean, if chickens are trying to make their living, I get it, but maybe pick a better product to sell.
Chic Beaks, a makeup company.
Oh, have you been listening to anything we've been saying, or have you just been in the pun space?
No, I've still been contributing. It's just when it comes to me, I have to say it before I lose it.
Some people keep a journal by their bed for this reason.
I'm not dreaming. Well, I am, but like not. I'm dreaming of a better tomorrow. I'm not.
Big golden pony boy.
I'm not asleep while I'm.
You
while I'm
may
thinking
say,
these things.
I'm a dreamer, and that would be true. John Lennon. So
Cock socks,
no, that's nope.
footwear,
That's not the one.
condoms.
I feel like
It's double faceted. You've got footwear for your chickens, and you get condoms. It's a 2-in-1 win.
I don't feel like I'd go to that store for either purpose.
heaven forbid the products ever get crossed. You get a package is not what you were expecting. Oh boy.
God. Yeah, their shipping department is not great.
Featherweights, athletic supplies.
Oh, I thought you were talking about boxing.
Well, chickens do box in the featherweight category, but
Yeah, that's where they're at. God, come on, Eric, get it together. You know more about chickens than that.
Get in the space that we've created. Come inside this box that's outside the other one.
You
Yeah.
told me stay out of the box.
No, I told you to stay out of that box. That's the bad
is
box.
bullshit.
That's the
No,
corporate box that
Hey.
society has fed you all your life, man.
Get out of the chicken coop, Eric. Think outside the chicken coop. Coop
I don't
soup.
have any. Okay, yeah, there it is. I don't have any ones to contribute, so I think I'm just gonna sit here for 5 minutes until the next one comes out of Aubrey's mouth.
Nah, I think I'm done.
What if they actually own the brewery Coop?
There's a
Oh,
brewery
Coop.
called Coop.
Yeah, Coop Ale Works. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
there
that
we
is.
go.
I think that is by chickens.
I still
So
think
they
my
have-
best. Oh well.
Did you catch their seasonal nugget ale?
Do they have a nugget ale? Oh, oops, sorry.
Hey, Eric, remember how we were doing a comedy show where we tell jokes and stuff?
I'm sorry.
That was one of those. You're too deep in the box. Come back. Come back out.
Once they had a habanero pizza ale, so I knew I knew like food was a thing that they did.
That's actually pretty cool. I'd try that.
Yeah, it was really good.
Do we have anything else?
No, I was out of chicken puns.
Yeah, yeah. That's unfortunate that
Sorry.
vein got tapped so early in the game.
No, it's okay. When I edit that down to where the conversations are minimal and it's just me interrupting y'all's great conversation with bad chicken puns, I think it'll make for great podcasting.
I think so.
Okay, so we're gonna hire all of those chicken businesses and put them on the extra floors of OSHMO's workplace. Everybody
maybe-
gets paid in whatever they want. Not really. They get paid a good, healthy wage. Everybody's able to live. They can take food home from the cafeteria, take home to their kids if they don't feel like cooking. They can use the pool, whatever they want. There's a daycare for all of your kids' needs. Don't let them on the Willy Wonka floor. They will get lost and probably engorged with blueberry juice or tinied or sucked into a chocolate fountain, or they'll drink some bubbles and burp themselves into a ceiling fan But that's
Aubrey,
all in the.
I think you're misremembering that scene. They were about to go into the ceiling fan, and then they birthed themselves to safety.
Nope. That's. I guess I watched the whole movie in reverse.
Yeah. You ever seen Memento? Fuck that shit. Willy Wonka. I'm telling you. Spoilers if you haven't seen Memento. I'm so
I
sorry.
actually have seen that movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh, okay. Well, ignore everything I just said.
I was thinking of chicken puns, so it doesn't matter anyway. I wasn't listening.
Hey, maybe this is super in the weeds and kind of pedantic, but where do we work in the building?
Oh, definitely on the 420th floor.
The one that's on fire constantly.
Yep.
All right, giving a whole new meaning to blaze it.
We get fire retardant suits, though. Don't worry.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah,
Now, when you
everything's
say fire retardant suits, do you mean like those hazmat looking things, or do you mean like fresh,
No, I mean
tailored
like
suits
fresh-looking
that propel flame?
Yes. They propel flame?
I said repel, but maybe propel is also a feature.
Maybe allow them to propel some fire.
You're fired.
And
Literally.
we only hire like 10 dudes from now on.
Okay.
We needed something else. Like a 5 minutes of something else to then get into the outro.
Sorry, I just banged on my window because
I noticed.
is like in the flower bed, like eating dirt.
It's pretty loud.
Oh.
Like she looked up at me and her fucking snoot is just brown. I have to tell you, she hit her head on the coffee table yesterday, and I literally bust a nut laughing. Like it was so fucking hysterical. She's like laying down right under my feet, and she gets up and like she kind of stretches a little bit, and she stands fully upright and just smacks her head on the glass. And like it, like her dome is so solid, it made this very, very echoing kind of noise, and I lost my shit. And she just like walked away like she was actually embarrassed because it was so funny.
Yeah, that's why you need office dogs.
If a squirrel owned a business, I think it would create the Bust a Nut Comedy Club and Nutcracker Emporium.
I'm leaving the recording.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, Austin, for being my wonderful co-host today, as you are every week on Boss Fight, but this time it's on a different podcast. So thanks.
An equally good and enjoyable podcast.
Right.
But
So
you should definitely also listen to the other one if you are so inclined. Thank you.
yeah, you can check Austin and I out on Boss Fight with Austin and Aubrey. It's a podcast where we solve all of your biggest boss fights that you have in life. It's very fun. You can find that on podsitivethoughts.com, PODSITIVETHOUGHTS.com, where you also can find all of the Okay So Hear Me Out episodes, including the one you're listening to right now. Thank you, Eric, for being our wonderful guest.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime.
Coop should definitely make a chicken nugget beer. That'd be delicious.
Or absolutely terrible.
But I would still try it.
I would
either
still
way.
try it. That's a very good point. If you can find, if you enjoyed this episode, there are a few things you could do to really help us out. One is just tell a friend. That would be the most helpful because word of mouth is the best way for this stuff to spread. And all it takes is 2 minutes of your time, less than that, maybe 2 seconds, more than that, 10 seconds. Hey, my friend does a podcast. It's called Okay So Hear Me Out. You should listen to it. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Or you could spread it through social media. We have a Twitter. It's at Okay So Hear Me Out. Retweet some stuff or just share it, whatever you want. We also have a Facebook page, which is Okay So Hear Me Out. Somehow that was not taken by literally anybody else in the world, this title.
Well, because it's so
Real well.
original. Like no one has ever said that series of words in that order. So
Exactly. I don't know exactly how.
Email address? Do you guys do email address to get questions, or is that a different thing?
Yes, thank you, Eric. That is so helpful. Also, if there's anything that you want us to talk about at any point on any of these episodes, you can send us an email at okaysohearmeout. That's not it. You can email us at oshmocast@gmail.com, oshmocast@gmail.com, or you can go to our website, positivethoughts.com/contact, and just fill out the form there, and we will get that to our email account, and that would be great. Thank you so much for listening this far. Somehow there are still people that have listened from episode 1 all the way to now, episode 10, and we appreciate you so much. It feels very validating that you would go 10 weeks into this and still be listening to my voice and not wanting to murder your own self. So that is beautiful.
Yeah, to echo on that, this has been something that Aubrey and I have talked about for a long time, is kind of branching off and doing these podcasts, and we really enjoy making them, and so having people listen to them and even enjoy them, I dare say, has been a really great experience. And so thank you so much for sharing that with your friends, because we'd love to kind of build this up and keep doing it, because we really like doing it.
So thank you. That is all we have time for today. See you next week. Have you ever been walking down the street and had to fight 3 tigers stacked on top of each other wearing a trench coat?
Have you had to challenge a pesky neighborhood centaur to a duel in order to evict him?
Have you had to literally fight your literal boss?
Well, whatever your next big boss fight is, we've got all the best tips and tricks on our podcast, Boss Fight with Austin and Aubrey.
It's a podcast where the greatest sage and greatest battle master of all time give the advice you and others like you need to win the next boss fight in your life.
So join us every Monday wherever you get your podcasts or in Positive Thoughts.